So I died again. I died again. Can you believe that? Can you look? Look, hold on. We're gonna take a little trip. Let's go see how many gravestones I have. Holy crap. Now you have to keep in mind, this does not account for the times where I didn't get a gravestone, like when my inventory was empty because I was already headed over to get my graves or my grave to get my stuff back, and I died again. So I mean, I've showed you before. I've showed you the server tops deaths. I'm at 47. Everybody else is like at 9 and 5, 1. Shay died once. Silver died once. Nick died once. Good job, guys. I died 47 times. What's up, people? I'm Xogue, and welcome back to Ryotcraft Unstable. We're here. We're doing things, and I have something to show you. See my little air stand over here? I wanted to show you this. Look, sound muffler. Shut up, chickens. We're good. That's because extra utilities was added to the pack, and some of the things are not breaking. What do I mean by that? Well, you see the blocks right above my cursor? Not the ones I'm hovering over now. Ignore those. The ones above them that I'm not hovering over because it will crash my client if I do. There's also these guys right here which do the same thing. Not these that I'm hovering over, yet again, the ones above them. All of these ones up top will also crash the server. Now the reason for that is because if we go into like this, for example, you have magical wood. You see these guys that show a little tooltip? When they're in this interface right here, it is not required that the item shows a tooltip. And since these guys do not have a tooltip, and JEI requires a tooltip, it's trying to show a non-existent thing, so it tends to crash the game. And that's just something that happens. So you gotta avoid those. But I wanted to show you that real quick, because we also want to replace some of this other stuff. Like, we want the golden lassos, because they're better than the net launcher that I'm using, and also the bag of holding, which would be amazing, but we can't craft this guy. I tried to craft him, and we can't. It's just not craftable at the moment. And I'm thinking a lot of these other blocks, like the ones above, you know, the ones that will crash the game, I don't think any of those will also be craftable. If we try, we'll probably crash. So we have to go for things that we can't, or that don't use those in the recipe. The golden lasso should be fine. We should be able to use this without any issue because it's not broken and it doesn't use anything that's broken. But the bag of holding we cannot get yet because the magical wood is broken and it is required. So you kind of get the gist. Anyway, in the future, once it is updated again in that... Oh, okay. I pushed the button that I wasn't supposed to push. Anyway, but as long as we stay away from those items, we will be able to get some of that stuff in here. At the very least, the golden lassos, which we definitely want in favor of the net launcher. But we're going to put this guy away. Also, and eventually we'll be able to get things like this once the game is updated and stuff, and it won't be a big deal. Now, there is something else that I want to show you about this stuff. These are the angel rings. Now, if you don't know, angel rings in 1.7 didn't require any power. It was creative flight for free once you got it. It did require something like a nether star or something a little bit further in the game, but the common idea is that they were a lot more OP. And I'm thinking that's probably why they changed it. I even got a comment about it in my video, how I got the wings so early. It's like, that's kind of like cheating. And I'm like, yeah, it was cheap. It was pretty cheap. They were already pretty far in the server when I started, so it was just kind of a thing. It got me up to speed a little bit. But these guys are now balanced better. You have power for them, apparently. And you have these items right here that generate power. We have wind, generates power from wind, generates power from rain. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in here. So we're going to end up playing with a bunch of these things. We're going to see what we can get done. And, yeah. But look at these guys. Golden lasso, cursed lasso. What's the difference? Why do you need a different one? I have no idea. I don't know. But we are going to play with those in the future. Maybe we'll go try to catch a few mobs in this episode just to see how it works. Kind of thinking that these guys are now, like, restricted. More restricted than they used to be. Because, I mean, there were some things you couldn't pick up with the golden lasso, but not much. There really wasn't much you couldn't pick up. But now you have the cursed, and I'm thinking maybe that's like nether mobs. You see this guy has ghast in it. Usage. Ghast. Maybe it's only for ghast? I don't know. I'm betting there's probably something else in here too. But anyway, you get the idea. I just wanted to show you that. We also have deep resonance in the pack as well, which I do want to play with. but I'm not sure when we're going to get to that. It looks pretty cool. Apparently it's some kind of, at least part of the mod is power storage, which is going to be very, very handy for us. We like power. We like power a lot. So we might be getting to that at some point. But for now, we were working on blood magic, and I think we're going to continue with blood magic a little bit. We're going to see if we can't get our altar up to the next tier. The first thing we need to do, though, is go ahead and get our next blood orb, because if you remember, probably don't, you might, I don't know, why are we high enough to get snow? Isn't this like a desertish type deal? We're in a tundra. Oh, I know, tundra is snowy? I don't know. Never mind. Never mind. That's just Xogue being a derp again. So anyway, we have the block of redstone. What we need in here is actually, I think, what is it, like 5,000? We need 5,000 of this stuff in here. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, no, we're good. All right. 3170. Okay, so anyway, you get the idea. Let me go ahead and throw this guy in here. I'm going to get enough blood, and I'm going to turn this into a blood orb for tier 2. And we're going to be good to go to continue on with things. Okay, so tier 2 it is. We have our tier 2 apprentice blood orb. And by the way, my voice, I don't know if you can tell the difference or not, but I did just wake up not too long ago, so it's a lot deeper. I feel more manly. Alright, so anyway, oh wait, yes, trash blocks. That's a thing that I'm using the chiseled blocks for now. I don't really care about them anymore. We're eventually going to change everything over into the polished diorite, I believe, because they don't insta-break when you accidentally hit them with a sword or your fists or anything else that you feel like punching them with. So anyway, what we have is, now that we're at tier 2 and we have the tier 2 blood orb, this is where it comes down to a choice. Now that choice is dependent on how you want to go about getting to tier 3 and tier 4 and all that good stuff. Now, you always have the speed runes. Those are going to be added later, but then it comes down to either the runes of sacrifice or the runes of self-sacrifice. You have two branches that you can go down. You can stab yourself a bunch. Thanks, Silver. You can stab yourself a bunch and get some blood in your altar that way. In that case, you want to get the rune of self-sacrifice, so you get more blood for that. Or you could go the route of the rune of sacrifice. Get yourself a little sacrifice, a dagger of sacrifice, and kill other things in order to get blood on your altar. Now, I think this is the route we're going to take, because we do have the ender lassos here. Or golden lassos, I mean. Ender lasso would be better, by the way. Just saying. That would be so much easier. But since we don't have those, we got to go with something else. So we're going to end up doing, I think, the sacrifice route, because it is still somewhat easy to get other mobs into this little pen thing that we have. Now, we could get regular mobs, but those will be more difficult. I figure what we can do for each tier is just kind of gather up a few mobs, to kind of breed them up to a significant number, and then work on getting to the next tier from that. So what we need is to craft a whole bunch of things, right? We need these guys at the very least. Now, what we want to do, now you could also go the blank rune route and do it that way, but it would take a long time to get here. So we want to go ahead and make 8 runes of sacrifice to get around the outside of this. That will, basically make me able to kill other things and get blood in the altar, so we can make a bunch more blank runes a lot easier. And that's what we're looking for. So we need these guys, which just for 8 runes of sacrifice, we need 8 more blank runes, which we could use these. That is a thing we could do, but considering the fact that we have to take them out in order to get these, to craft them and stuff, I don't think we want to. I mean, I guess we could. It wouldn't be a huge deal, but we're going to have to craft a bunch of blank runes anyway, just to get to tier 3, which is what we want. I don't know. Maybe we will. I'm torn. I'm torn right now. Maybe we'll do this, because we do have the tier 2 blood orb. This is the apprentice, one step up from the first one, the weak one. And then we get the magician, tier 3, block of gold, 25,000. This is the hard one. This is the one that's, we're going to have to breed up a whole bunch of animals inside this little thing. Although it will be extended to tier 3 once we get there. No, give me that back. But anyway, so you know what I'm trying to do. I'm basically just going to collect a bunch of mobs from the area. Probably a bunch of my chickens, actually. Because I do have a lot of those chickens. And bring them over here. Just continue going back and forth. Dropping a bunch of them in here. And killing them as things craft. So that way I can go ahead and just get everything that I need for this. I need 8 more blood blank runes. I need 8 reinforced slates, which is tier 2 in that. So 3,000 per, so 1,000 for this one, 2,000 for this one. And I need to do that 8 times. After that, we should be good to go on everything. It shouldn't take too incredibly long to do. So I'm going to get on this, and I'll see you back as soon as we have 8 sacrifice runes around this area. Well, well, well. Welcome back. Look at my tier 3. Look at my tier 3 altar. Alright, so what we have here, this is what I'm going to go with. And this is how you make the This is how you make the tier 3. I keep falling off my altar, man. Alright, so we got this stuff. And we go to this corner, like so. Like so. Now, you do not need these blocks. You need, okay. You don't need the corner blocks down here. You can actually have them empty. You do need any type of block here in these spots. And then on top of those, you need a piece of glowstone. The glowstone. All of the glowstone, right? Oh, like that. And then, got it. Nailed it. All right, sweet. But I do like to include the corners just because without it, it looks weird and derpy and not so great. Now, we're also going to fill in the middle here. Because, well, we like to walk without falling off of our altar. And, you know, that's always a good thing, just to kind of to walk around and not fall through holes. It's a pretty good little thing there. So that's what we're going to do. Now, if we go ahead and right-click on this guy, it says Tier 3. Current capacity 10,000, because the capacity of the altar is always 10,000. But as soon as we can find a way to get our last, well, not last, the third orb, we need a full block of gold and 25,000. Now, if you're paying attention, let's take a little peek. You have 2,000 here, right? You can just fill up your altar and let it go. Not a problem. 5,000 for this one. You can just fill up your altar and let it go. Tier 3 is 25,000, which means it's 2.5 full blood altars worth of blood, right? We cannot do that in one mana pool. I keep thinking Botania for whatever reason. Oh my goodness. Xogue, get on task, man. You're in blood magic. Work with blood magic. We can, I don't know. It's one of those days, peeps. It's just one of those days for me. You can't do it with one full blood altar's worth of blood. So that means we have to stand here and keep pricking ourselves while we let this gold block charge up. Now the issue is normally you just can't do it fast enough. You have to have something that can heal you. Now I do not know if this is good enough because it does take a lot of psi away from me. And I don't know if I will be able to keep up. But we are going to give it a shot. And if I can't, I'm going to have to go ahead and make a bunch more of the... We need a block of gold. Give me a second. Train of thoughts and such. We're going to have to go all the way and get these guys, the second tier. Well, technically third tier. But the second time that we need runes, we're going to have to make all of those... self-sacrifice as well. Now we don't want any speed runes. We want it to go slow. It will take a while doing this, but with it going slow, it gives us a better chance of keeping our health up for longer to be able to actually make this work. Now I do not know if it's going to work, and we definitely want to get at least one full mana pool's worth and then a full health bar before we even try this. So that's what we're going to do now, and then if I go to health, I can go ahead and, you know, spruce my health up, top it off, so to speak, and actually make sure we have the best possible chance to get this done. But what we got to do is throw in the block of gold, and hopefully, now, after this blood pool is gone, after it's gone, we have 15,000 more that we have to keep up with. Now, you notice it was just a few clicks to get up about 1,500. It took me down to about half health. So I got to make sure I stay on point with this. And what I'm going to do, because our health bar is also going to be dropping down a little bit, we want all the things right around. So all I'm really going to be doing, I'm going to drop in the block of gold, and I'm just going to stand right here. Prick myself when I need to, heal when I need to, and when I get hungry I need to eat. I'm just going to be going back and forth between these three things until hopefully we get a tier 3 blood orb. So you ready? Let's get this started. We can't do it. Dang it. It's running out. We don't have enough of anything. We can't do this. We're probably not even close. I'm going to keep trying here for a little while, just making sure I have the best possible everything. But right now it is actually losing its progress. But we're going to see if we can't make it work anyway. So I'm going to keep working on this for a little while and see if I can't make it happen. Go, man. Go. We need more blood. It's still taking it too fast. Sheesh, this is not good for me. Not good at all. So I died again. I died again. Can you believe that? Can you look? Look, hold on. We're gonna take a little trip. Let's go see how many gravestones I have. Holy crap. Now you have to keep in mind, this does not account for the times where I didn't get a gravestone, like when my inventory was empty because I was already headed over to get my graves or my grave to get my stuff back, and I died again. So I mean, I've showed you before. I've showed you the server tops deaths. I'm at 47. Everybody else is like at 9 and 5, 1. Shay died once. Silver died once. Nick died once. Good job, guys. I died 47 times. Anyway, so let's just go ahead and keep adding to my graveyard. That's why I created so much room in here, so I could just keep going with things. Anyway, now, I've done something. You see it here, Wand with a Forest. I did not make my own Botania setup off camera. Don't worry, we will get into Botania from start to finish. I will not skip any of that, except possibly the wand, which I will explain at that point in time. But what I did is I went over to Clobber's area, and I used his setup, because he's got a pretty big Botania setup. You can kind of see it a little bit down there. He's going pretty far into Botania already. So I went over there, and I made him a botanical brewery. I made him one of these guys so that I could get some of these potions going. And it required a little bit of resources, but I filled up a lot of stuff. Like, I gave him, like, 10 stacks of coal and a bunch of, well, not a bunch, 2 flowers worth, if you know what that means. There's a flower that converts wood into the Botania wood, and I gave him 2 sets of that and 2 sets of the stone so that he could get some of that stuff back, and that way he gets his mana back, he gets his resources back, and there shouldn't be any deficit of any of the resources that I used, because I did try to ask for permission, but it didn't work. I couldn't like, I guess nobody was there at the time, at this moment, so I went ahead and I did it. But I gave back more than I took. So, I don't know. But if it were me, I would be cool with that. That wouldn't bother me. If somebody did that, you know, they needed something that I have, you know, and they just gave back more, then it'd be cool. So that's what I did. I figured it would be okay. We'll see what happens. See if he's upset or not. I don't think he will be, though. He's a cool guy. He's good. He's good people. I think he'll be cool with it. But anyway, so what we have are 3 vials of revitalization, which are regen 3 potions, or regen 2 potions. I thought they were regen 3 potions. For 25 seconds, and I get 4 uses each. I don't know if I'm going to need that much, but worst case scenario, we're just going to have extra. Better to have extra than not enough. So what we have now is a full pull. We're going to try this again. Put in my thing here. I'm also still going to be using my health. These guys are going to be used once my health, you know, it kind of, I mean, they're 25 seconds. So once my health goes down, I'm going to drink one of these guys, and then I'm going to go ahead and just try to keep them up while maintaining the health and the dagger. Hopefully we can get it done. I don't know if we'll be able to, but we are going to try. And it is nighttime, so let's go ahead and do that. First of all, let's go ahead and pump a few of these in here. Keep this guy topped off a little bit, at least in the beginning. Health, potion. Now it's down to 3 uses. So we got regen, we got food, we got health. We should be pretty much good to go. Hopefully, we're going to find out how this works. We should see. We shall see for sure. We've got it! Finally! Finally! Okay, so, yeah. I had to get 10 more. I couldn't do it. I couldn't make it work without them. So I had to go ahead, go through that, and bam! We got it. We finally have this guy. Now, the reason we needed this guy is just because that's how you make the higher tier stuff. Well, not higher tier. It's technically higher tier. Some of this other stuff requires tier 3 and the Magician Blood Orb. Magician is like the first step in getting things. But if we take a look, the biggest thing we want in order to be self-sufficient in this guy, in blood magic, in order to not have to worry about continuing to stab yourself over and over and over and over and over and over again forever trying to get anything you want it automated. Now, yes, we don't have the mob stuff for the Well of Suffering, but there is something else we can use. There is another option. Witches. Now, witches by default, when they take damage, they like health potions, which means you can stick them underneath the Well of Suffering, and this is as of 1.7. A lot of things change, so I don't know if it's still going to work, but we are certainly going to try it. But they will continue to drink potions and keep themselves alive while our altar here just continues to harm them and get blood from them. So they're going to keep drinking their potions forever. We're going to keep getting blood from them forever. They're never going to die because they're going to drink their potions fast enough. That's the idea. But in order to make the Well of Suffering, you need the Dark Rune thing. Or not Dark Rune, Dusk. That's what it's called. Dusk Rune. Now, it doesn't actually say how to make this guy, so I'm hoping you actually can. Ritual stone. Oh, that's the ritual stone of death. Never mind. We don't need that guy. Maybe we do. Ooh. I'm not sure. I'm not 100%. But I do know that in order to get the elemental inscription tool, we have to get this. Oh, wait. What? Oh, back up. In order to get Dusk Runes, we need the elemental inscription tool. Or this guy right here, the second one, which does require demonic slates, which are also tier 4. So either way, we need the Dusk elemental inscription tools, tier 4. We need a tier 4 altar. Do we have a tier 4 altar? We do not. How do we get a tier 4 altar? Now, also, if you take a look at this guy, no, not you. You're actually not too difficult. You're not too difficult. Neither one of these actually requires the orb. So I'm not entirely sure if you have to get the orb itself or not. I really don't know. I'm not sure about that one. But I do know that in order to get the orb for tier 4, the master, you need a weak blood shard. In order to get the weak blood shard, you need the ritual of binding. Binding. We don't have that in here. That's not a thing. That's not a thing you can do there. We need to learn how to do the ritual of binding in this. But what we're gonna do, what I was trying to type in is the ritual diviner. That's what I was looking for. I just typed. Why are you not typing? Ritual diviner. Now, there's 3 tiers in this new one. You also have Dawn, which is a lot of the new stuff, which it doesn't even tell us how to make, so it may not even be completely implemented yet. This guy is Dusk. This is what we're going to need to make the Well of Suffering. But the regular one, we can use the regular one and upgrade it later. You see, it does use the original one, so it's not going to be a big deal if we make it now. We need 4 diamonds, we need a stick, and we need these guys. Tier 3. Tier 3, Tier 3, and Tier 3. So, Tier 3 is what we have now. So we can make this guy. And as soon as I make this guy, we're going to select the Ritual of Binding and see if we can't set that up somewhere. And then, yeah, we'll be good to go after that. Mobs get trapped in that little thing all the time. I'm so sorry for you, mob. No, I'm really not. I don't care. Well then... You have no idea how much stuff just happened. Now it is the next day. Oh, whoa. It is the next day, and I'm trying to land on this thing, and I can't. I just woke up, so my voice is all deep and you know, stuff again. We should probably take down our old crafting table. I said I was going to come back for you one day, so now I did. Congratulations. Now, you may or may not notice that the video is not as good. That's because my video card just died yesterday, before I left for the final day of the convention. Right before, I was upset for the first little part. I'm like, man, this is just not gonna be good. This is terrible. Why are things happening to me? Now, I had a great time at the convention. I got a whole bunch of stuff. It was amazing. I love it. I don't know if any of you guys vape, but if you do, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I got a few comments. I didn't know you vaped, man. Yeah, I totally do. I got a whole bunch of stuff. It was really cool. It was I don't know, it was a great time. I put a few pictures out on Twitter. I tweeted a few pictures on Twitter. All right, so that was just kind of a thing. It was pretty cool. But as you see, I did make this guy, but my videos are going to be a little bit less good for a little while, and that's only because I need to get a replacement card, and that's going to take a few days. I got to find one, I got to order it, I got to have it sent to me, so it might be like a week or 2 or however long it takes for a video card to get sent to you in the mail. We'll find out. But until then, we got to work with a little bit less quality stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not as good. The reason it's not terrible is because my other video card was AMD and this is an NVIDIA one. It's an older NVIDIA and it's almost keeping up with the current AMD that I had. It's kind of like that. Now, anyway, so we did go ahead and get this guy. This is the Ritual Diviner for the first tier, which is what we needed. Let's go ahead and look this up again, just in case. I know it was like a last clip for you, but I did go ahead and get the Elemental Inscription tools to make this guy. Magma Cream, Obsidian, Lapis, and a gas tier. Went ahead, put those guys together, smash them together. Now this guy right here, what it does is it automatically creates rituals for you. You just look at the ground and you just like right click and it places everything, it sets everything up, inscribes all the runes that you need in the right place. It's very, very, very handy. So you don't have to manually set up any of your own stuff with these rituals, because there's a lot of them. You can shift right click to go that way. You can also shift left click to go backwards. So if you miss it, you'll be like, oh man, I wanted the containment. You can go right back. It's pretty cool. But what I don't find in here is the Ritual of Binding. I have no idea where it is. I don't have a clue. I don't know how to do it. I was looking at this when it actually started to my video card, like my computer crashed a few times when I was trying to look through this thing, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. Why? And then my computer just wouldn't start one of the times. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. But I got something just to hand me down. It's a thing. We shall see, peeps. We shall see. But because of all that stuff, I no longer have the time to actually go through and try to get one of these things done. So I do apologize. Try to bear with me. We'll be looking at that here in the next episode. See if I can't figure out exactly how to get the Ritual of Binding, and if that is no longer a thing, which it may or may not be. Because usually it was in this first one right here, and it's not like a high tier thing, so it shouldn't require any extra anything. I don't know. But it seems like parts of this mod are not currently in the pack. Like, it's not completely done yet, which is expected. I mean, it's unstable, you know, it's Ryotcraft Unstable, and you know, it's FTB Unstable. But we shall see. We shall have to see. But anyway, so yeah. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit that like button. If you want to see more, you want my videos sent directly to you, then don't forget to subscribe. Comment, favorite, share if you feel like you want to. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, peeps.